Well, here's my original 1940s steering wheel out of a 1940 Ford car sedan. You know, it's not in bad shape. There is cracking and stuff, and there's an old handle grip and stuff that was put on here I'm gonna have to take off, but I'll fill up all these spots here and stuff with epoxy and sand it down nice, and this will be pretty easy to repair, so I think it'll come out good. Okay, I took a wire wheel and got off all the old hand grip that was melted on there and stuff over the years, and now you can kind of see a little better what's there. And I took my little Dremel and a wire wheel and cleaned up all the paint that was off those little stainless steel trim rings. And now I need to sand it down and file it, level all this stuff out so that I can put some epoxy on there and start filling in. Okay, I've taken all the cracks and I've opened them up a little bit, kind of V'd them out, cleaned them up. So the epoxy will have a little more surface to bind to. Now I just need to throw some epoxy on there with some filler and let it dry overnight. Okay, I mixed up a batch of West Systems epoxy with some high density adhesive filler, and mix it up nice and thick so it stays in there, and I'll let that dry overnight. Alright, there's the first coat of epoxy sanded down, and the rest of the wheel sanded down. I'm going to have to put another skim coat over the repairs, but just another step. Well, I have the filler sanded down and I have the first coat of primer on there, which I'll just use as a guide to see how bad it is when I sand it down. So it'll be sand prime, sand prime, sand prime fill. Alright, there it is after a few rounds of sanding and filling. I started off filling the big spots with my West Systems epoxy, and that was kind of a little bit rubbery actually, so I switched to JB Weld and filled in what was left, and that actually sanded down much better. I kind of like that a little bit better. And then for the really tiny spots, I just used you know, spot putty, the 2-part stuff, because it dries really quick. It's easy to sand. It feathers real nice just for little tiny spots. So now I'm to the point where I need to start wet sanding with like 400 and then 600 before I put a nice coat of primer on it.
Well, there's a good coat of primer on the wheel.
Alright guys, well, there's the steering wheel all finished up after a long time of hitting it and then leaving it and hitting it and leaving it. But anyway, the little stainless steel rings are cleaned up a little bit. Got my horn button that came with the original 40 Ford steering wheel. It was pretty scratched up, but I somewhat have it cleaned up and polished. But yeah, that's the steering wheel done and complete. Now I just need to assemble the whole steering column, shaft, and everything else. But that'll be in another video. But hey, thanks for watching.